What is leaky gut? Is this true? It is true. Now, a couple of times this week, I've drawn the lining of the gastrointestinal tract. Looks like that. And it has a thick turf wall. Do you remember what that's made out of? Lactobacillus acidophilus bifidus bacterium. It's a thick mucosa wall. And when that wall starts to break down, basically that's leaky gut, because that thick mucosa wall has 4 functions. One is it's responsible for the final breakdown of the food. It's also responsible for the absorption of the food. This gut flora is responsible for protecting the blood against any harmful pathogens, and it nourishes the little cells that line the gastrointestinal tract. The little cells that line the gastrointestinal tract, they're basically made down here, they travel up, and every 3 to 5 days away they go. So every 3 to 5 days the cells that line the gastrointestinal tract are remade. So if that gut lining breaks down, what would break it down? Antibiotics, the contraceptive pill, statin drugs, cortisone, ibuprofen, which is Nurofen, the painkillers. Now we've got a leak. You see that? There's your leaky gut. And here's the blood in here. So here's the gastrointestinal tract. The food's coming down, it gets broken down, and then it comes in to get through and into the blood. So how do you heal that? Number 1, there are 3 foods that are like kerosene to a fire in here, and that is the hybridized wheat and dairy and refined sugar. Now there's something else, and with some people that aren't responding, this is what you question. Is there any exposure to mold? Is there any exposure to chemicals? And is there any exposure to heavy metals? Number 2, probiotic, and this should be taken 3/4 of an hour before breakfast. 3/4 of an hour before breakfast you take a probiotic supplement, and that allows the probiotic to go way, 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 way down to where you want it. If you take a probiotic with your meal, the hydrochloric acid can wipe it out. So probiotics important. Number 3, and we've looked at this a couple of times, there are 2 herbs that coat, soothe and heal the lining of the gut. One is aloe vera, and the other one is slippery elm. And I think I told you about the man from Kenya, that by the end of the week, his ulcerative colitis had calmed right down, no more bleeding from the bowel, no more pain in a couple of days, bowel movements calmed right down, and that was the slippery elm 4 times a day. Now I'm about to give you something else, and this is a mix that we make at our health retreat, and for very severe cases I do this, and I did it for him. I call it digest powder. And digest powder, you can make it yourself by just getting the herbs. So it's 8 part slippery elm, and that's the coat, soothe, lining, healing. 1 part myrrh. Myrrh is a gum resin, and myrrh is a strong antimicrobial and healer. 1 part golden seal. Golden seal is king of tonics to all mucous membranes. So if someone has quite a serious problem, then I give them that mix. Now the dose, you put that all together in a jar, and they all must be powdered. The dose is 1 teaspoon to about 1/2 cup of warm water. Now, if someone's serious, let's say someone's going to the toilet 10 times a day, I would give them that 4 times a day, before each meal and before bed. As it all settles down, they might have it just in the morning and just before bed. And when the colon is now perfectly well and there's no problem, you stop. Your best guide is your body's response. You see that? You adjust accordingly.